From the moment human societies were formed, people have been controlled, not always by chains, not always by force, but by fear, belief, reward, and dependency. Kings used religion, empires used armies, institutions used laws. And today, control operates through money, information, and access. Most people believe control is obvious, that it looks like violence or dictatorship. But real control is subtle. It works best when people don't realize it exists. More than 2,000 years ago, one man saw this clearly. Chanakya did not believe people were naturally moral. He believed they were predictable. He believed society could not survive on goodness alone, only on structure, incentives, and consequences. To Chanakya, controlling people was not about cruelty. It was about order, not about oppression, but about stability. He believed that when people understand rewards and fear consequences, they behave. And when systems are designed correctly, control becomes invisible. This is not a story about right or wrong. It is a story about how power truly works and how Chanakya understood it long before the modern world existed. More than 2,000 years ago, in ancient India, there lived a man who understood something most people still refuse to accept today. He understood that people are predictable, not because they are simple, but because they are driven by the same invisible forces: fear, desire, insecurity, ambition, and survival. His name was Chanakya. He was not a king, he was not a warrior, he did not command armies, yet he created an empire, and he did it not through violence, but through understanding human nature better than anyone else. Chanakya believed something deeply unsettling, that morality alone does not govern human behavior, that ideals collapse when survival is threatened, that loyalty is not natural, it is engineered. This video is not about inspiration. It is not about motivation. It is about power, influence, and control as Chanakya saw them. And whether you like it or not, these rules are still being used today. Chanakya's philosophy begins with a truth most people avoid. People act in their own self-interest first. They may dress it up as virtue. They may hide it behind culture or religion or loyalty, but strip away safety, comfort, and reputation, and self-interest reveals itself immediately. Chanakya observed that no system survives if it depends solely on goodness. Good intentions collapse under pressure. Only incentives and consequences remain reliable. This is why he believed that if you want to influence people, you must never appeal only to what is right. You must appeal to what benefits them. A soldier fights not for abstract loyalty, but for reward, honor, or survival. A worker works not for passion alone, but for income and security. A citizen obeys not because of love for law, but because law provides stability or punishment. Chanakya did not condemn this reality. He used it. And this is where modern people misunderstand him. They think his ideas are cynical. In truth, they are accurate. From this understanding came his next insight. Whoever controls resources controls people. Power does not come from titles. It comes from access. Access to food, access to wealth, access to information, access to opportunity. Chanakya understood that when people depend on a system for survival, rebellion becomes irrational. You do not need to threaten someone who needs you. You do not need to dominate someone who relies on you. Control the flow, and obedience follows naturally. That is why ancient kings controlled land and grain. That is why modern power controls money, data, platforms, and networks. Think carefully about the world you live in. Who controls your income? Who controls the information you consume? Who controls the platforms you depend on? Power rarely announces itself. It embeds itself quietly into systems of dependence. Chanakya saw this centuries before corporations, governments, or algorithms existed. But resources alone are not enough. Chanakya believed influence requires emotional architecture, a balance of reward and fear. Reward creates loyalty. Fear prevents betrayal. Remove reward, and loyalty fades. Remove consequences, and betrayal spreads. This was not cruelty, it was behavioral logic. Chanakya warned rulers against excessive kindness without structure. He believed uncontrolled mercy invites disorder. At the same time, he warned against constant punishment. Fear alone breeds resentment and rebellion. The ruler's task was to balance both, to make loyalty profitable and betrayal costly. Look at modern systems. Promotions, bonuses, social validation, these are rewards. Fines, demotions, bans, legal penalties, these are consequences. The structure remains the same, only the tools have changed. Chanakya understood something deeply uncomfortable. People behave not according to ideals, but according to incentives. Another pillar of Chanakya's philosophy was intelligence. He believed information was more powerful than weapons. A ruler without intelligence, he said, is blind. If you know what people intend to do before they act, you do not need force. If you know alliances before they form, you can prevent them. If you know weaknesses before they are exposed, you can exploit or protect accordingly. That is why Chanakya built one of the most advanced spy networks of the ancient world. Spies in markets, spies in courts, spies among servants and traders, not to terrorize, but to understand. Because the greatest advantage is not strength, it is foresight. Today, intelligence looks different. Data analytics, surveillance, market research, social behavior tracking. The principle remains identical. Those who know more decide more. Those who decide more rule. But Chanakya also understood perception. He knew that raw power without legitimacy is unstable. So he advised rulers to appear virtuous, even when acting strategically. This idea is often misunderstood. Chanakya did not promote hypocrisy for its own sake. He promoted stability. People follow what they believe is righteous. They resist what they believe is cruel, even if it benefits them. So the ruler must embody morality in public while calculating outcomes in private. Not because deception is noble, but because perception governs mass behavior. This is why leaders speak of values while negotiating interests, why corporations market ethics while optimizing profit, why governments justify strategy as morality. Chanakya did not invent this behavior. He explained it. One of Chanakya's most controversial strategies was division. He believed that united opposition is dangerous. When enemies unite, power shifts. When they remain divided, power consolidates. This does not mean creating chaos without reason. It means preventing alliances that threaten stability by managing rivalries, by balancing interests, by ensuring no single force grows strong enough to challenge authority. In modern terms, this appears everywhere. Competing departments, political factions, market competition. Unity among the powerful is rare, not by accident, but by design. Chanakya understood that power survived not through domination alone, but through balance. Perhaps Chanakya's greatest strength was patience. He believed timing mattered more than force. A premature action, no matter how strong, leads to failure. A delayed action, when conditions are perfect, reshapes history. Chanakya waited. He observed, he prepared, and when the moment came, he acted once, decisively. Modern society glorifies speed. Chanakya glorified precision. He understood that power is not reactive, it is anticipatory. Yet for all his brilliance, Chanakya was not naive. He knew these methods carried risks. Fear-based control creates obedience, but not devotion. Manipulation creates compliance, but not trust. That is why he believed the ultimate goal of power was stability, not domination. A ruler who overuses fear collapses. A ruler who ignores strategy becomes weak. Chanakya's philosophy was never about cruelty. It was about survival of systems. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Whether you like Chanakya or not, whether you agree with him or not, his principles still govern the world. They govern corporations. They govern politics. They govern institutions. They govern social platforms. Most people live inside systems shaped by these ideas without understanding them, and ignorance does not make you moral. It makes you vulnerable. Understanding power does not mean abusing it. It means recognizing when it is used on you. Chanakya believed wisdom begins with awareness. The question is not whether control exists. The question is whether you understand it. Chanakya's rules were written for kings, but they still rule ordinary lives. The only difference is this: those who understand power can choose how to use it. Those who don't are always controlled by it.